Some gifts should never be given. Some doors should never be opened. And some dolls should never be kept. Mia didn't know it yet, but the moment she unwrapped that doll, her fate was sealed. The night was calm. The warm glow of the bedside lamp cast long shadows on the walls. Mia Form, a soon-to-be mother, rested her hands on her swollen belly. Her husband John sat beside her, a secretive smile on his lips. "I found it," he finally said. Mia looked up. "Found what?" John pulled out a wrapped box from under the bed. Excited, Mia tore through the paper, then froze. A porcelain doll. Vintage. Perfect. Its glassy eyes gleamed under the dim light. The white dress, spotless. Golden curls, perfectly set. "Annabelle," Mia whispered, her fingers brushing against its smooth face. She placed it on the nursery shelf, but as she stepped back, a cold unease crawled up her spine. That night, as they lay in bed, creak. Mia's breath hitched. The sound came from the nursery. "Did you hear that?" she whispered. John chuckled. "You're just nervous. Try to sleep." Mia nodded, closing her eyes. But the feeling didn't leave. Something was watching. The night of blood. The first scream tore through the night. Mia sat up, heart pounding. It came from next door, the Higgins house. John rushed to the window. Shadows moved inside. A dark figure flickered past. "Stay here," he told Mia, but she couldn't. Together they stepped into the hallway. The air felt thick, too silent, too still. Creak. Mia turned toward the nursery. The door was ajar, swaying slightly. Beyond it, darkness. She stepped inside. The window was open, curtains billowing. Then, a reflection. A woman stood behind her. Long, matted hair, wide, hollow eyes, blood-stained gown, and in her arms, Annabelle. Mia screamed. A shadow lunged, a struggle. Glass shattered, furniture toppled. Shrill laughter filled the air, piercing, unnatural. Gunshots, silence. When the police arrived, it was over. 2 intruders, cultists. The woman, Annabelle Higgins, had slit her own throat. Her blood, symbols on the floor. An officer stepped into the nursery. His flashlight flickered. Then he saw it. The doll, sitting in the middle of the carnage, watching. A chill ran down his spine. He turned away, but deep inside, he knew something wasn't right. The haunting begins. Days passed. Mia tried to move on, but something in the house felt different. It started small. The rocking chair moved on its own. Whispers echoed through empty rooms. Objects weren't where she left them. Then, the sewing machine clicked on. The needle stabbed furiously at the cloth, moving, fast, aggressive, guided by unseen hands. Mia's breath quickened. A shadow flickered in the hallway. The walls felt closer. The air, suffocating. Then came the nightmares. She'd wake up gasping, drenched in sweat. A presence loomed over her. A whisper, right by her ear. One evening, she found Annabelle sitting in the rocking chair, facing the crib. "I threw you away," Mia whispered, backing away. The doll sat still, unmoving, watching. A smirk, almost there, almost real. "Let's leave," John insisted. Mia agreed, but the horror was far from over. Evil never rests. Days later, John checked on the doll. It was gone. Miles away, in a dusty thrift store, an old woman picked up a vintage porcelain doll. Smiling, she carried it to the register. The store lights flickered. The air grew heavy. A shadow moved behind her. A faint giggle brushed past her ear. She didn't notice the cashier's hands tremble. She didn't see the reflection in the glass. Something watched. Something waited. And in the darkness, the demon smiled. Its work was not yet done. The end. Darkness never truly disappears. It waits. It watches. And the next time you see a doll like Annabelle, will it be watching you? If you love spine-chilling horror stories, subscribe to Cursed Stories, because the next nightmare might just be yours.